left hand side, the question is there, W and R are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2. Their balance sheet as on 31st of March 2019 was as follows, right? Okay. Then balance sheet is given to us. After the balance sheet, on the above date, C was admitted for 1/6 share in the profits of on the following terms. C will bring 30,000 as his capital and 10,000 for his share of goodwill premium, half of which will be withdrawn by W and R. Entries will do at the end, but let me complete the formats like revaluation account, partners capital account, bank account and balance sheet, everything. Let us complete that part first. Debtors rupees 1500 will be written off as bad debts and a provision of 5% will be created for bad and doubtful debts. Outstanding salary will be paid off. Stock be depreciated by 10%, furniture by 500, plant and machinery by 8%. Investments 2500 not mentioned in the balance sheet what we taken into account. A creditor of 2100 not recorded in the books also be taken into account. Past necessary journal entries, you can see that. That's a question. Revaluation account, you can see there, partners capital account, bank account and balance sheet. Okay, so this is what is the format. Bank account is generally not asked, but I do have a practice of going with cash or bank account, right? Just because the students are more clear, because whenever they journalize, they think of, I just want them to write over there for the bank entry also, right? How do we start with the sum? We need to go through the adjustments first of all, right? And then we need to go through the balance sheet, right? And then we need to close the accounts one by one. So these are the steps that I want you to follow. Okay, so as I told you, I would like to go with the adjustments first of all. Okay, we have not been asked to calculate the new ratio, so we are not going to work on that. There is no mention of sacrifice by the old partner, so it is assumed that the old ratio is the sacrificing ratio, right, for goodwill and all. Okay, the first adjustment, C will bring 30,000 as his capital. Okay, acha, before I start with the adjustments, let us write something over here which I will be doing it in advance. Bank account is there, it's a bank balance. In that I will be mentioning balance BD every time now. I'll mention the amount as well. Okay, opening balance BD. In the same way, you have partners balance over here. Okay, the partners capital balances I'll be putting on the credit side by balance BD, opening balance, because partners do have a credit balance. Okay, so let me reduce this. This is better. Fine. I'll mention these balances over here. Cash balance, I can see that is 12,000. W and R are the existing partners with a capital of 60,000 and 40,000. Okay, so these two things I'll be doing it. And most importantly, if in balance sheet, if I have any accumulated profits and reserves and losses, even I'll distribute that as well. I'll bring to your notice, right? I can see that this is general reserve appearing in the balance sheet on the liability side. So this general reserve has to go to partners capital account. You can see that in partners capital account on the right hand side by general reserve. General reserve 5,000 in the ratio of 3:2. So let me write 3,000 and 2,000. Okay. Now let us start with the adjustments. Adjustments where first adjustment you can see that C will bring 30,000 as his capital. Entry for the same is cash to capital. Right, so I'll go to cash account. On the debit side, I'll write there to C's capital account. Okay, this is why like I prepare bank cash and bank account. Okay, amount brought in is 30,000 to capital account. So in capital account on the credit side, we write there by cash or bank. Okay, I prefer to write bank, but books में कभी cash कभी bank use किया हुआ. तो I personally believe कि now every transaction is done through bank only, most of the transactions in business, so that's why like we should use bank account, and that was the reason why I have mentioned over there as cash and bank account. C is a partner who brought in cash, so let me write over there 30,000. Now rupees 10,000 for his share of goodwill premium. Okay, he brings in rupees 10,000 for premium for goodwill, right? Let us repeat those two entries. That is cash to PFG, PFG to partners. So like cash account mein jaake debit to PFG, right? How much amount is brought in? 10,000. Okay, cash account debit to PFG. The premium for goodwill account is not maintained over here. Second entry, premium for goodwill to the sacrificing partners in their sacrificing ratio. As I told you earlier, for sacrifice, no mention is there. So it is assumed that the existing partners do sacrifice in their existing ratio, that is old ratio, that is 3:2. So let me go to partners capital account, right over there, buy premium for goodwill. Amount is 10,000. 10,000 in the ratio of 3:2. Okay, so that will be 6,000 and 4,000. Okay, after this, the next statement which I have already highlighted, half of which will be withdrawn by W&R. Half of which is withdrawn, half is withdrawn. So third entry, if you remember, partners to cash. The benefit given to the partners is 6 and 4. Half of that will be 3 and 2 is withdrawn. Partners to cash is the entry. So in partners capital account on the debit side, you can see that I'm writing to cash over there. Amount will be 3,000 and 2,000. Okay, to cash, the cash should be credited. So by W by R, 3,000, 2,000, right? Second, debtors of 1,500 will be written off as bad debts, and a provision of 5% will be created for bad and doubtful debts. Very, very rarely seen adjustment. Very rarely seen adjustment. Normally we have the adjustment for provision for doubtful debts. Bad debts, very rarely seen, right? So we know, like balance sheet, debtors. Let us complete the procedure and let us recollect some knowledge from class 11. Debtors, balance sheet, if you remember, financial statements. Amount can be seen as 18,000 less bad debts. I'm sure like you everybody remember this. पहले bad debts minus होगा, फिर जो balance बचेगा उसका provision करेंगे. So this is bad debts of 1,500, right? Okay. So this 1,500 will be deducted, and net amount left out with us now will be 16,500, right? Again, I need to deduct less what? Provision for doubtful debts. How much is the provision? Provision is to be created at the rate of 5%. Okay, let me write there, provision at the rate of 5%. Yes, 16,500 ka 5%, 16,800.
825, 825.
Yes. Okay, so let us deduct this 825 from 16,500 and net amount over here now. 16,500, 15,700, 1,500,
675, 15,675.
Thank you, beta. So, debtors 18,000, bad debts 1,500. As per the second adjustment, 1,500 will be written off as bad debts, and a provision of 5% will be created. That is what we are done with. Now, because I have marked it red, you can see that provision, generally it is shown by way of deduction from debtors in the balance sheet asset side. But if it is not shown, then what? It may be shown on the liability side also. Liability side, you can see that provision is there, 2,000. Now, how do you treat this particular part? Provision is made for the losses in the future, right? 2,000 हमारे पास जमा था, like we have a credit of 2,000 for a provision for doubtful debts. Out of that, 1,500 was bad debts. So remaining provision left out with us is 500. Provision to be made required is 825, but we have a provision of 500 only. So additional provision is to be made for 325, and that is a loss. I shall put it over here to provision for doubtful debts, revaluation account debit, because it's an additional loss to me, 325. I repeat this because this is really very important to make it in a simple term. Okay, देख लो यहाँ पर bad debts कितना है, 1,500 है. Provision for doubtful debts कितना है, 825. So total loss for bad debts and provision is 2,325, right? 2,325. Out of that, what is the provision available to us? 2,000 rupees. So difference is 325. That is an additional loss. Because it is an additional loss, we need to debit in revaluation account. Yes, I'm done with this particular adjustment also. Third adjustment is about salary. Outstanding salary will be paid off. Outstanding salary, we can see that it appears in the balance sheet on the liability side. 3,000 that has been paid. The simple journal entry for that is outstanding salary to bank, right? So salary has been paid to bank account on the credit side. Okay, let me write there by outstanding salary. amount has been paid rupees 3,000, right? That's a very simple adjustment. Okay, now these very simple adjustments are repeated over here. Now stock will be depreciated by 10%. So what is the value of stock over here? Stock can be seen as rupees 20,000. Okay, so let me write over there to stock. Again, I can see furniture is also to be depreciated. So let me write furniture over there. Okay, as well as plant and machinery. So to plant and machinery. Okay, so all these three are to be depreciated. Okay, let us now write the values one by one. Stock can be seen as 20,000. 10% of that will be 2,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Furniture by 500. Okay, it is good that the value is directly given. Plant and machinery by 8%. 40,000 is plant and machinery. 8% of that, 3,200, right? The 3,200, correct? All three, depreciation, loss, debit to revaluation. Now, how are we going to show it in the balance sheet? Stock, furniture, and plant and machinery. All three are there. They will be written over here on the asset side in the new balance sheet. On the right hand side, you can see there. Stock was 20,000. Depreciation is 2,000. So remaining value is 18,000. Okay. Furniture value was 40,000 and it was depreciated by 500 only. So remaining value is 39,500. Plant and machinery was 40,000 and it was depreciated by 3,200. So remaining value will be 36,800. Okay. Next. Investments of 2,500 not mentioned in the balance sheet. What do we taken into account? Investments were not recorded. Now we want to have a record of that. Asset increases. If asset increases, it's a profit. Profit credit to revaluation account. Investments. So let me go to revaluation account on the credit side. By investments. Okay. How much is the amount? 2,500. Okay. Investments in balance sheet will appear for rupees 2,500. Okay. Next, a creditor of rupees 2,100 not recorded in the books was to be taken into account. 2,100 creditors not recorded. Now we need to consider it. Creditor is a liability. Liability increases. If a liability increases, it's a loss. And being a loss, we need to debit it to revaluation account. So let us write over there to creditors. Right? How much is the amount? 2,100. So creditors increases. Let me see the creditors in the balance sheet. Creditors in balance sheet is 20,000 increases by 2,100. So this will be 22,100. Okay. So we are done with the adjustments. Okay. This is what is my first step to go through the adjustments. Okay. In any other sum of the admission or retirement, anything. Right? Step 2 is to take the items from the balance sheet one by one. Okay, let us move from the asset side. Cash balance, I've already recorded in my cash and bank account. Debtors, we had adjustments. Stock, furniture, plant and machinery, all adjustments were there. So we are done over here with the amounts. Okay, from liability side, creditors, we are done with. Provision has been taken into account. Outstanding salary was paid. General reserve was distributed. And capital has already been mentioned in capital account, right? So I'm done with the balance sheet part also. Got it? So this is step 1, the adjustments. Step 2, to check all these amounts. अब ये तो first समय की wherein all the amounts had one or the other adjustment. If any of the amount has no adjustment at all, like any asset or any liability, so that will be copied as it is in the new balance sheet also. Okay. So we are done with step 1, step 2. Now step 3. Step 3 is to close accounts one by one. So let us close revaluation account first of all. It is clearly seen that it's a loss. Okay, so let us get the total over here. 25, 57, 77, 78, 81, 25. Out of that, अगर 2,500 चला जाता है तो 53,
5625.
5625.
Yes, sir.
Okay, by partners capital account. Okay. This is how it has to be shown. Okay, and this will go to the two partners, old ratio, like W and R. The amount is 5625. I want you to distribute this in the ratio of 3:2. 5625, 1100, 1125. So 3375 and 2s are 2250, something like that. Now, because this is a loss, the loss has to come to debit of partner's capital. You can see that I'm writing now to revaluation account. This is 3375. Okay, and this is 2250. Okay, the loss has been transferred over here. If you prepare cash and bank account, we need to close it. We need to get the balance over here. So let us do the totals over here because I have prepared the buy balance CD. Okay, so get the totals, please. Kitna aega?
52,000.
52,000. 52 is the total, right? Okay, 52 is the total. And let me get the difference, please. Kitna aega difference?
44.
44. Okay, this cash and bank balance has to go to balance sheet on the asset side. Cash balance 44,000, right? Okay, so we are done with the revaluation account. We are done with cash and bank. Let us close partners capital account and get the totals. Total for W 66
66.
9 69 aega.
Yes.
And this will be 46
46.
and this will be 30.
30.
Okay, so let me copy this. Okay, so all the balances now are there, totals are there. So let me write there to balance CD, the closing balance. Okay, yes, get the difference, please. 69, 63,
62.
625.
625.
625. Okay, that's fine. 46 minus 4, 42, 41,
41,750.
and over here for C
41,750.
30,000.
30.
Okay. Now these capitals are bound to come over here in the balance sheet. Capitals. Okay, I need to write all the three partners over here. Okay, that is W, R, C. Okay, so yes, let me write the balance over here. 62, 625. Okay, then is 41,750 and then 30,000. Okay, please get the total. 130, 133, 134, 375. Yeah, seems to be right to me. Let us get the total now. All the accounts are closed. The total over here will be 134 plus 22.
156. 156, 475.
475. If anyone can do the total for the asset side. 40, 70, 80, 82, 1 lakh, 139, 154, 155, 800, 156, 475. Okay, done. Okay, so I'm done with the sum. Now, when it comes to generalizing, okay, so what I prefer is, let us have the generalizing from revaluation account first of all. Let us go with the profits. Profits, I can see that this is just one amount, investments, showing the profits. So we know that like we are into revaluation account on the credit side. So entry over here will be investments account debited, okay, to revaluation account. This is always going to be as simple as this. We are into revaluation account on the credit side. So revaluation can be seen credit, investments debit, amount can be seen as 2,500. Okay. Next is from the debit side we have losses. Losses देख रहे हो, ये सारे के सारे losses हैं. तो losses हैं तो revaluation account मुझे debit करना है. Okay. So let me debit revaluation account. Okay, all these amounts appear on the debit side. So it's a loss. Okay. To what? To all these items. Okay. To provision for doubtful debts. Okay. To stock, to furniture, to plant and machinery, to creditors. Got it? Okay, this has to be done. Revaluation account debited, to provision for doubtful debts, to stock, to furniture, because all these amounts are debited. Okay, total amount is 8125 and values are 325. We will have a very special entry for provision. Actually, I'll come to that. Furniture is 500, plant and machinery is 3200, and creditors is 2100. Right. So we are done with the two entries from here. I always prefer this: first profit and second losses, and third is for the distribution of profit and loss. So we can see that it was a loss. Debit side ज़्यादा था, loss है तो revaluation account is credited. So partners will be debited. Partners कौन है? W and R. So W account will be debited. R account will be debited. Okay, to revaluation account. Right. The amount distributed was 33752250, right? And the total is 5625. ठीक है? Done. Okay, तो revaluation account से like we have 3 entries. We are done with those 3 entries. ये जो part है ना, provision for doubtful debts, इस sum में बहुत ज़्यादा important है. We'll take care of this by the end of the generalizing. Now, from cash and bank also we need to check कि क्या entries possible हैं. We cannot have any entry for balance, right? We have C's capital, we have PFG. Okay, so let us write that. Cash account will be debited to C's capital. We are from debit of capital cash account, so that's your cash account has been debited over there to C's capital to PFG account, right? Cash account debit is 30 plus 10, 40,000. Capital is 30,000 and PFG is 10,000. Okay, now we also know that like this PFG balance goes to all partners, sacrificing partners in their sacrificing ratio. So let us complete that part over here itself. PFG account debited, premium for goodwill account debited to W, right? Sorry, to W account to R account. ठीक है, तो premium for goodwill was 10 and that is distributed by within amongst W and R 6 and 4. Okay, so that can be seen over there. Done. So we are done with the capital and PFG. Now we can see that this amount appears over here. W and R appears on the credit side of cash. So withdraw किया होगा, right? The cash gets a credit effect and W and R will be debited. Okay, let me copy this. So W and R account debited to cash account because cash goes out. Half the amount was withdrawn, so 3,000, 2,000 and total is 5,000. Correct. We were also having one adjustment like for salary, outstanding salary paid. Let us write that. Okay, outstanding salary account will be debited to cash account. So we are done with revaluation account, we are done with cash account. Opening and closing balance का कोई entry नहीं होगा. After that, partners capital account. Let us check out that and let us find if any amount is there from partners capital account. Balance का entry नहीं होगा. General reserve, we can see that that was distributed amongst W and R. So let us write that entry as well. So let me copy this for general reserve. Okay, general reserve account will be debited. Okay, to W and R account. General reserve total was 5,000, right? And W and R gets a credit of rupees 3,000 and 2,000. Because partners are credited, so we need to credit partners. Cash is over here for capital. We are done with that. PFG, we are done with that. Cash withdrawn, we are done with that. Revaluation account, loss distribution, we are done with that. This is balance CD. That's all. ठीक है.